Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of the Kashif Booth podcast. If you're new here, each week I sit down with a guest and we discuss their career so far, the highs, the lows, and what's next for them. Today's guest is James Merrill. He's an actor from Wales, but he's kind of off the grid at the moment because he lives in this. What you made this yourself, right? This camper van, which looks
I
amazing.
did. Thank you. Yeah, I did. It's a fully off-grid camper van, and
Mhm.
so I'm basically a bit of a free gypsy at the moment. I can just travel around, and anywhere I get to work, I can just rock up, park up, and live there until we finish. But yeah, I can just travel around,
Perfect.
man. It's a nice, relaxed way of life, especially for what I'm doing at the moment.
Mhm.
Comes in handy.
Perfect. Well, welcome to the show, James. Thanks for coming on. And when I think about it, I've known you for such a long time. I think we first connected back in 2017 for my web series Imperfect. And then you've just been going
Yeah,
strength to
exactly.
strength. So
Thanks,
it's
man.
good to catch up. It's been a while.
Dude, I was gonna say, man, we've not had a
Uh-huh.
proper catch up. It's actually just good to see you again.
Yes, yes.
Seriously, it has been so long, man. It
Yeah,
has.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
been
I think
too
the
long,
last
bro.
time I saw you was the agency, and we shot that in 2019, and that did so well in the festival market. So that was the last time. Yeah.
2019.
Yeah, crazy.
Jesus.
Before pandemic, that's the thing. Like, it was before.
Yeah, that is crazy. And I absolutely love that as well. I love the
Mhm.
character in that. I love the whole feel of that. So I'm glad to hear. Yeah, it did okay in the runs,
Yeah,
yeah?
yeah, you did
Well,
good.
that's good, man. I'm
Yeah.
glad to hear that.
Yeah. So tell me about you. How did you get started as an actor? Because from what I remember, you got started quite late in the game. So, and
Yeah,
it's a great story. So I'm looking forward to hearing it
man.
again.
It is so random and it was very late because
Mhm.
I was 30 really. I was like a PT. I was always, I was always theatrical. I always loved performing in one way or another, but I wasn't like specifically an actor. I used to make like music videos, just like perform in theaters and just different stuff like that. But I was ex-army PT, so I was just kind of, you kind of get on with life, and then yeah, it just kind of came, just like a random thing came. I came across it by just basically my mum. She's like quite good friends with an agent, and she just kept saying like, "Oh, why don't you just try? Just come and do this or be this soldier or do this." And I was kind of like, I was just too busy with work. But then one job came in where it was kind of like a bit of a spread. It was going to be about 3 months or more, I think it was. The pay was good. It seemed interesting. I didn't know what it was, and they just said I basically just matched the like the specifications. I was the right height, the right skin tone, and they were just like, "Look, just come for the interview. It's at Warner Brothers." And I was like, "Okay, I'll just come down for that." And I was in North Wales, so I literally drove like 3.5 hours
Wow.
for like a 10-minute like meeting. Went in the office, met everyone in there, and they were just kind of like looking me up and down, like, yeah, okay, okay. I had no idea what was coming.
Mhm.
And then I left. I just drove right back up to North Wales, and I just thought nothing of it. But literally, like the day after, they rang me back up and was like, look, we met you. We'd love you to, come on board. And if you accept, if you're going to do it, then we can sort of tell you what everything is. And then I was just like, do you know what? I left my job. I thought this is a good bit of a stint where I can actually leave.
Mhm.
And, it's not just for the odd little job here and there. So, yeah, I just left my job, went there. And then they were like, yeah, cool. It's for Justice League. And you're going to be like standing in for Jason Mamoa. So I was just like, okay, let's do it.
That is wild. Like, just for you to fall into such an amazing opportunity like that. And what was that like for you, just to be his body double? And you worked with him like not ever since, right? And this was like, when
Yeah,
did you first
yeah.
start this?
So Justice League, we've shot
Mhm.
that like 9 years ago, but it was
Okay.
just mad because it was, I did enjoy things like that, and I did stuff on a smaller scale, but then just to walk straight into, a proper film set, Warner Brothers film set, it's a massive, massive movie, huge budget.
Mhm.
It was crazy, but I kind of just like, and you have one of those moments in life, that sort of turning point. I kind of was just on set,
Mhm.
getting to sort of do it, running the scenes, just sort of seeing how everything worked, and kind of
Mhm.
thinking like, do you know what? It's like I've always been doing something along those lines, but this
Mhm.
is this is a whole nother thing. This is just what I should be doing. This is what I
Mhm.
should have been doing.
Mhm.
So from that moment, it was just a case of like, right, what do I need to do?
But I love that journey. But explain like what is a body double because most people don't understand. Like, did you do
Yeah.
his dance? Like, what
No,
explain what
so
that means?
this is the thing. It's so like you'd say
Hmm.
because the one we started off was a standing, and you say
Yeah.
standing, everyone's like, "What the hell is that?" People don't even realize like
Hmm.
that it's even a job on set. But it
Yeah.
is basically. So I ended up after a while to start with, I was just a stand-in, but after a while, I ended up being stand-in,
Hmm.
the body double, and the acting double. But if we go
Hmm.
back to the stand-in, it is literally anytime an actor is gonna um, sort of come on to just do their stuff. They're not going to be part of the setup. So they
Yeah.
just need,
Yeah.
usually they like actors because sometimes they like to run the scenes through, they like to run the lines through. So usually they'll use an actor who can just come in, who's the same height, skin tone, just so they can
Hmm.
set up lighting,
Hmm.
check the sound, make sure everything's correct.
Yeah.
Just so then once you've sort of done all that, and that might
Hmm.
take up to like an hour, something
That's
like that,
true. Hmm.
while they're all like in the trailer, then it's just a case of right, second team out, first team in, and you're just like,
Hmm.
cool, yeah, take it away, and they
Hmm.
just kind of walk in and they're ready to go. There's no messing around.
Yeah.
They can just concentrate on the scene they've got to do, their lines,
Hmm.
you know, and just walk into it ready to go.
Hmm.
No sort of messing around. And yeah, before I got that job, I didn't even know that existed, but I just walked. It's
Hmm.
right. So just started with that, and then from there, then because basically I was like literally the right sort of specs. That's when they just started. Then would you use me for the actual body doubling as well, which is not too dissimilar, but then that is actually on screen. So that is when basically it's when you see their legs or their arms or
Hmm.
them from the back or something like that because they don't need to do that, right? They're only there if their face is in it.
Hmm.
So it'll just be someone like me in a wig in this case, obviously. I do grow the beard out when we're doing it, so I kind of get the beard the same. Make sure I got the wig on, and then they'll put the kit
Hmm.
on me, and then that is actually on camera body
Hmm.
doubling.
Hmm.
Yeah, but
Nice.
then the acting double is then pretty much that, but with dialogue, and
Perfect. It's
that's it
like when
really.
it's perfect, like like when like somebody's playing a twin, and their acting body
Yeah. Oh,
like stands in
exactly.
like that.
Yeah,
Basically, yeah, yeah, yeah. So how would somebody get into that?
exactly that.
Well, how would someone get into that? Like somebody who
It's
probably doesn't want to
yeah,
be famous or whatever, but they'd love to do something like that. How would
yeah,
you say they get into that? I know you just kind of happen to
yeah.
fall
So
into it, but how would someone do that?
yeah, that's what I mean. So it is so random. But obviously, being on them sets, and then I have
Hmm.
seen how other people have sort of gotten into it.
Okay. Hmm.
Sometimes it is just through somebody they know on set, but a lot of the
Right.
time it is with one of these. You could sign up to these extras agencies and stuff like
Hmm.
that, and they're all
Hmm.
generally based in either London or there's quite a few based in sort of Manchester, depending on where
Yeah.
you are.
Hmm.
Um, but they will then send you extra work as well as, but they do have standing in, they do have
Hmm.
body double in. It's not as, it's not as frequent and it's not out there for everyone. And obviously
Hmm.
then you've got to be the right specs because I don't match everyone. I'm like,
Hmm.
I've done films for Jason,
Hmm.
and then I did this 2 week stint on Men in Black 4 for the
Hmm.
twins
Yeah.
just because I was again same height. But then
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
problem with
Yeah.
that was then they were like, because they're dancers, right? They're like,
Hmm.
so the problem with that was they were like, oh, so they're just going to do this dance, and then it's like, right, you guys do something similar, and it's like, man, I've got a bit of rhythm, but
Hmm.
like
Yeah.
they're like next level. They're like with Beyonce's dancers,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then they're playing like aliens in this thing, right? So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was just like, okay, and it's fun. I
Mhm.
always like throw myself into it
Mhm.
100%. So yeah,
No,
but
that's
that's it.
really good. No,
Yeah.
I love that. So you had this experience and then you just kind of basically fell in love with acting. So what was it
Oh
like
yeah.
at that stage of your life, just kind of like having this career change, especially for an industry which is not has no stability. So what was
No.
that like for you?
No.
Especially moving, like, did you ever live in London before? Because you moved from Wales to London as well for a
Yeah.
period as well.
Yeah.
What was that
I
like?
it's a bit of a crazy transition. I know I
Mhm.
guess a lot more actors will kind of go through that when they're sort of leaving, school, and then, they've come out of drama school or whatnot. So yeah, to find myself doing that at like 30, and then thinking, right, that's it, I'm going to move down. So I ended up, doing I was doing that whole sort of scene, but like, starting from when I was 30. Yeah, and
Mhm.
I found myself just moving to London. I was like in that hustle at that
Yeah.
age,
Yeah,
but I
yeah,
just kind of I don't know what it was. And the same with every actor. They're just kind of they fall in love with it. They love to do it. They love to create stuff. And
Hmm.
then you kind of just got to make that decision. Like, if that's what I want to do,
Yeah.
you're just all in. You're just all
Hmm.
in. Even the van life thing, because like you say, like you never know. It's not always stable.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're non-stop and it's
Hmm.
amazing, and then another time, yeah, you might be casting every week,
Hmm.
but you're not landing everything, are
Yeah,
you? So
it's true.
you got to sort of set yourself up where you're kind of in a
Hmm.
position, which I've done now. I'm all in. I'm all in.
Hmm.
So I've set myself that where that's all I want to do, and I
Hmm.
will, so I know that I can have good times, but then if
Hmm.
there's lean times or you're not landing every job, you just got to ride it out. You just,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
that's what we do. But
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. This freelance
until
life is
you're,
not easy. Okay.
yeah, yeah, I guess, yeah, we could say that on all freelance, like, yeah,
Hmm.
100%.
No, but that's really good because from you doing that, you were just booking though. You were just like, in this commercial, that commercial, like you're like, damn, James, like you just, but that winning smile, listen, you were always gonna get booked. Okay. You were in all the rooms.
That's
What was it
it
like
is
for you?
mad. I've
Hmm.
definitely been lucky. I've
Hmm.
definitely, because then there's, I think it's about 11, 12 like commercials so
Hmm.
far, and it's been with like an absolute range. And my first commercial that I landed was like a Citroen commercial, and that was
Look
early
at
on.
that. Yeah, yeah.
That was definitely when we were working together. So
Hmm.
I landed that. So kind of been lucky in that respect. I guess when you're not when it's you, you always think like, oh, because there's been so many auditions and so many things. So I guess when it's yourself, you don't really step back to
Hmm.
appreciate what you have actually been in and what you
Yeah,
have actually done. I
yeah.
think because you always want more, and
Hmm.
you're always looking for that next thing.
Hmm.
I think a lot of us are guilty of that.
Yeah,
So, but yeah, once I step back and then have a look at the
yeah.
actual the things I've been in,
Hmm.
and especially the commercials and then
Yeah,
the little
yeah, yeah.
parts and a lot of the stuff behind the scenes, because it's a
Hmm.
lot of stuff that unless people don't see or know you've done it, but
Hmm.
like you've just been on those sort of big sets and those big films. So yeah, definitely appreciative,
Hmm.
but definitely still as hungry as ever. Definitely
Good,
looking for more.
good,
Yeah, of
good,
course, man. Of
good.
course.
Because I see you're working, and like, what was it like for you to go from like doing such a big production like Justice League to then coming to my little old web series, which was like already had built this kind of franchise anyway, because
Yeah,
Imperfect was the spin-off, to my old web
yeah.
series, Nate and Jamie. So what was it like for you to kind of come on board on that, this low
Man,
production?
no,
What was
no.
that
What
like?
honestly, I don't
Mhm.
think you realize like, how much I like appreciated that at the time, because we still had
Okay.
to meet you, we still had to go through everything.
Hmm.
And yes, I was been working on a big production, but I
Hmm.
wasn't the actor on it. So
Hmm.
to then come into your guys' world, and you guys had been working together, you sort of, it was a, it's a set where everyone kind of knows each other, and you've all worked together, so you kind of, honestly, the amount of I learned from like coming into like an
Hmm.
environment like that, where it was like, and you guys, you were saying that, and you said it at the time. I was like, no, man, 100. You don't realize that I was walking into it, and you guys knew what you were doing. It was like it
Hmm.
was so snappy. It was ready to go. So like, I appreciated it so much.
Hmm.
First, landing that gig, right,
Hmm.
and then second, just getting that experience, and
Hmm.
it was a different kind of, it was a whole different, it was a whole different kind of like scenery, scenes between these, a whole new story, a whole new like, and especially me at that time, because yeah,
Hmm.
I'd been on a big set, but I still wasn't as experienced as I am now.
Hmm.
So honest to God, it was still a bit like, stepping into your guys' world where you were all like, you were all on it, you were ready to
Hmm.
go, everyone knew what they was doing.
Hmm.
So yeah, I remember like those days and walking onto that set. I
Hmm.
learned so much, man. So
Hmm.
yeah,
Oh, that's
that
good
meant
to hear.
just yeah, it meant a lot, man. I loved it, loved it.
Because we did shoot it like I tried to use my experience of working on actual TV sets of like how you
Yeah,
shoot it out of order in terms of like
yeah,
we would shoot different scenes from different episodes in like
yeah,
certain locations, and it's just easier to do that to be able to
yeah,
edit as well. But that's just standard, and I'm sure you
hundred
know that
percent.
now. Like it's just how they schedule it, so you need to know your lines, and you might go from a happy scene and then the
Yeah,
next scene you're
when you're
really
like
dramatic, you got to
arguing,
tap into
yeah,
something else. And so, but
yeah,
hey, that's what makes you guys professional, and you guys killed it. Like you guys were such talented actors, and it speaks volumes as to like all the actors I worked with back then, they're all doing so well now. Like Lauren's doing amazing, you're doing amazing. Like everyone's now just soaring in their career. So it was such a humbling experience, but we learned so much doing that as well. And it shows that you should just always create. And we had such a
A
great time.
hundred percent,
Even when we
a
went to the
hundred.
Screen Nation Awards, do you remember that was
Yeah,
a
yeah,
crazy night in 2018? And that was so funny, but it was just that's one of my like favorite memories because we were all
yeah,
together, we all had a great time, and it was such a special night as well. So that was good. I
yeah.
liked that.
It's
And
amazing,
it's
man.
so crazy
It's
how long
amazing.
ago it was.
Mm,
It doesn't feel like it,
yeah,
but it is. So yeah, that's the crazy thing.
yeah,
So what's been happening since I last worked with you? Because we last worked together on Coulter's film, The Agency, and there are
yeah.
some sequels coming. We just need money, so I will keep you updated on that. But we want to
As
take
with
it.
everything.
Yeah, but we want to take it to a whole nother level. Like that's
Yeah,
how everyone's career should be when you create something. Each production, people always say to me in a way, not in like in a, I don't take offensive to it, but I like it. They say every project I do is better than the last. I'm like, yes, that's
yeah,
how it should be. Every project should
exactly.
be amazing. Like you should just be improving and getting to the next level because you want to get
Yeah,
reached somewhere. So
yeah.
since that happened in 2019, what have you been doing? Because I know you still work with Jason Momoa, so you guys must be like best buds now.
Do you
So
know
like,
what? I still think it's weird. So I'm day to day, I'm the stand-in,
hmm
and then when needed, I'm the body double. But
hmm
then also, my agent got a message that's being like, "Oh, we've had a random tape for on to be Arthur Curry's acting double." I don't think the cast, and then the casting didn't realize I was already working on it and I
hmm
was already on set. So I was a bit like,
Okay.
hang on a minute. I was like, okay, this should work out great. I was like,
hmm
just tell them yes, and I'll just tape for it and stuff. But then
hmm
obviously, then once I taped for it, and they were like,
hmm
what about this guy? And then sent it to Ian, who was the first AD on it,
Yeah.
absolutely amazing.
hmm
Then he sees the audition and he's like,
Wait a
hang on a
minute.
minute. He's like, he's
Yeah,
like working
yeah.
it already.
hmm
so, so he was like, and he just said he saw it, he was working there, he was like, you're here already, he loved the
hmm
tape. So he was like,
hmm
you doing it? And then that ended up being like 2 days on
hmm
like it was only 2 days, but do you know, one day
hmm
it was a deleted scene. So I don't think I can really say
Okay.
who the actor was because it was a totally cut scene and it wasn't
Okay.
used in the end. But the
hmm
other day,
hmm
it was unreal, man. But then the other day was the scene that was used in the film. If you saw it, it
Amazing.
was the at
Okay.
the end when he's on the podium and
Oh,
he's
yes, yes, yes.
giving the whole speech to like all the delegates.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
Basically, when they shoot it to his face, he's
hmm
giving the speech, and then he's like, "Right, you got this, yeah." And then that's it. I come in and all the in all the armor and all the
Yeah, yeah,
thing,
yeah,
get
yeah,
on the podium,
yeah.
stand there. They film from behind, and
hmm
I've just got to like reel this speech off.
mm
And oh my god, honest to God, it just
Wow.
and you're just there and you're doing it and I was
Yeah,
giving it the whole
yeah.
speech and the way he gives it, and
hmm
I just loved
That's
it, man.
amazing. That's
It
amazing.
it was mental.
Mhm.
Those days were
Mhm.
unbelievable.
I could imagine. And that's
They're
living
like
the dream, right?
fully contracted. Oh, it was crazy. Obviously,
hmm
then the next step, you obviously want to be doing the acting days where
hmm
it's you. But
Okay.
that was unreal, man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I can
That was a
imagine.
great experience, man. The
hmm
director's just like, you got this, yeah, and I'm just like,
hmm
yeah, yeah. And then the amount of people who are
Yeah.
coming up after, like, wow, because I'm in the gear, and they're like,
hmm
Jesus,
hmm
oh my god, that was amazing, and da da da. I was just like, yeah, this is it. It
hmm
doesn't get better, man. But
Yes,
yeah,
love that. So what's it like working with Jason though? Like, what's your relationship like? He seems very humble. So like,
yeah,
what's that
yeah.
like?
Yeah, he's absolutely crazy, isn't he? He's nuts, but he's the most loving guy. He's got the biggest heart,
hmm
and it's just unreal to see
hmm
because since the time I saw him from Justice League, and then we were working, and then obviously back on Aquaman 2,
hmm
the jump, especially in his fame, just went
Yeah, true.
absolutely
hmm
astronomical. Like he was when he got on Justice League, he was out of just on Game of Thrones, and I
Yeah,
think
that's
that kind of
true. Yeah.
helped.
hmm
Zack Snyder, I think, must have they saw him and they wanted to go that direction
Yeah.
with Aquaman. So he was like big then, but then
hmm
obviously since then it's gone
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah,
But then
true.
seriously. But then for him to like, that's all happened, and then for him to
Mhm.
just reach out to like little old me from North
Mhm.
Wales and be like, bro, we're on this, you're coming down, and I'm like, okay, yeah, it's just
Yeah, yeah,
all
yeah.
right, yeah, yeah, okay, bro. Like
Of
that's what I
course.
mean. And then when I don't message him, he'll be like, bro, why don't you just message? I'm like, yeah, okay, but like I said, I don't want to bug people and stuff.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, he's
Mhm.
amazing, man. Yeah,
I love that.
and then we just kept in touch, and then
Mhm.
from there I ended up doing Fast 10 because
Mm,
he was
amazing.
Dante on that, wasn't
Yeah,
he? And then
yeah, yeah,
so I think
yeah.
there's more of that coming up, and
Okay, amazing. No, but I'm just so proud. Like, this is so sick. Like, the fact that this is almost a decade into this,
yeah,
and look at that. That's amazing.
crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
it's absolutely crazy. But yeah,
Mhm,
it's the biggest heart ever. I don't think that'll ever change because he's such a
mhm.
free spirit. He's such a
Yeah.
gypsy. Yeah,
Mhm.
I guess gypsies end up like all finding each other. But yeah, it's kind of like he's a roamer as well, isn't he? So
Yeah,
he
yeah,
lived in vans. He's
yeah,
like, you know what I mean? There was
yeah,
just
yeah,
I
yeah.
think there's just so
I
many
get that.
similarities that
Hmm.
yeah, it's a very kind soul, amazing guy. Yeah.
Nice. So outside of the whole Jason Momoa stuff, you've been busy. I'm seeing you in a lot of projects now, and I love the characters you're playing because I feel like I can see you playing them. Like you're this detective, these gritty, like urban
Oh, amazing.
gangster films and TV pilots. So you're in a lot of stuff. So tell me about those and like how have those come about?
Oh, amazing, man! Yeah, I've got some really cool ones coming up, and
Mhm,
like on the independent sort of the filmmakers, they sometimes these things take a while to come. But seriously, I've just the main and the favorite and the one I've just been back up to Leeds to shoot again.
mhm.
Sorry, in Halifax is it's called Enter the Furnace, and God, I probably started shooting that about a year and a half ago,
Wow. Okay.
but it's what I'm so proud of it. I think
Mhm,
it's really gonna be amazing. Yeah, I can't wait. I'm so excited. It's like the way I can explain it. It's kind of like it's like a dark, gritty,
mhm.
northern, like happy valley type with,
Okay.
but from the like criminal's perspective.
Mhm. Okay.
But I think where people are going to think it's just going to be this sort of criminal sort of drama and this sort of thing, but it's not. It's so psychological. I'm so excited. But
Mhm,
that's one, and that's like
mhm.
that was the main sort of
Okay.
yeah, that's the main one that's coming.
Mhm.
But you're gonna get a
That's
call about
exciting.
that.
Please
You're gonna have
keep me
you,
posted. I want to see
yeah,
this because
check it out.
they look good. Like everything you keep posting, I'm like, okay, I want to see this because it fits you so well. Like I could have seen you in like The Gentleman on Netflix. Like I'm
Oh,
looking
I would love
forward to
that.
seeing you more like in those type of roles because it's very gritty and urban, because you can play the boy next door. You did that in my show, but but I can see you going really in that route as well, and I feel like that'd be perfect for you. That's such a great lane.
because that is the thing I like to play. I
Mm-hmm.
like to play the dark, the psychological, the sort of
Hmm.
in the shadows.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
just I don't know.
Hmm.
For me, it's just really fun. You can tap into it, and
Hmm.
the darker the better, really. But
Yeah.
yeah, I wanna do all of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love it.
Hmm.
I enjoy like tapping into those
Hmm.
characters, and
Hmm.
yeah, it's just I think it's just interesting, and it's
Hmm.
just different, and
Hmm.
yeah, but yeah, man,
No, I
I'm
could
glad you
see
said
when
that
we
because
was in
that
the
is
agency,
I'm
when we did
obsessed with
the
roles like
agency, I could see that
that.
because you really came alive with that character as the man. And I felt like you really came alive with that dark, kind of mysterious, not really knowing who this character is. And you really just
Yeah.
shined in it. So I was like, yeah, I could see James doing more of this. Like, so it was just perfect. So that's why I'm like, yeah. So the more I've seen you tap into that, like from what you've been sharing on social media, is really good to see. So that's really good.
Amazing, man.
Yeah.
Amazing, man. I appreciate it. But yeah,
Mhm.
that's just the fun roles, isn't it? I love the more twisted the better, please. Yeah, I want
No, but it's true. I understand. I understand.
to.
But yeah, because it's like you're really coming out of your comfort zone as well, because
Yeah,
and you really can tap into a different side to you or do loads of
yeah.
research in terms of like, okay, what would this person be thinking? Why are they thinking this? And it really kind of challenges you as a performer. And that's what a lot of actors like. They want to be challenged and taken out of their comfort zone. So
100%.
I totally get that. But have you gone to drama school? Like, have you done any studying since you've like
No, this is the thing. No, so I
Mhm.
didn't even
Wow.
end up because like
Mhm.
again because I started so late. A lot of
Mhm.
my experience was hands on. I think I ended
Yeah.
up doing like 3 web series. I made like 11 short films, going
Mhm.
to like different film school and BFI
Okay.
and things like
Yeah.
that. And I was, a lot of them were like good leading roles.
Okay.
So a lot of it was early
Cool.
experience. But then I think
Okay.
where I really found a lot of experience, and what was very
Mhm.
helpful was when I landed a part in Naked with Burger or Man, which was like a
Okay.
theatre show we did in 2018.
Oh, I remember.
And
I came and
I,
watched that. Yes, yes, I
yeah,
remember. Yes,
man.
yes,
So and then we with them we rehearsed so much, but we were also
yes.
going to like the Actors Centre, and we were getting lessons, and it
Mhm.
was and I think, I'd learned so much through experience, but then learning with all these other brilliant actors who were like, they were already at that level, ready to go in, and then, like I said, going to the Actors Centre, and then we were doing it sort of every night,
Mhm.
and then ended up getting like 4 stars
Mhm.
on London Theatre Reviews, and then
Amazing.
they got us back the year after.
Mhm.
So it was just things like that, really. But no, definitely not from drama school.
Wow. Wow.
No, definitely. So it can be done. A lot of
Mhm.
actors do kind of do it that way. It is harder, I would say, though. If I was like, if I was leaving school, I would have told myself,
Mhm.
like, I didn't know what I was going to do then.
Yeah.
I would have definitely said, if I could go back, I'd have gone
Mhm.
straight into it.
Mhm.
I would always say, yeah, if you've got the choice,
Mhm.
I would do it, even just to
Yeah,
be
I get
in
that.
class with other actors, and
Mhm. Mhm.
and just sort of figuring out it
Yeah,
all a
yeah.
bit earlier.
Hmm. No, it's good because like not every actor has like people who are
Mm,
like child stars, they just start acting and they just,
yeah,
that's how it
yeah,
goes. And some people, even if they have acting lessons, they still always are learning their craft as well.
yeah,
It's also
exactly.
what works for you and what you feel comfortable doing as well. I say
Yeah,
to some actors, like, if you feel like your career is stagnant, go back to school, refine your skills, see what it
100%.
is, because understanding your lane, I feel like you found your lane. That's what, you found your
Yeah,
lane so you can thrive in that. Some people are still trying to figure that out. Do you remember Samuel from Nate and Jamie? Like, I remember having a chat with
yes,
him couple years ago and he was
yeah,
like kind of in that realm and I said, well, comedy is your thing, and he
yeah,
surprisingly he was casted in more hood stuff and like like Top Boy and those type of gangster type projects. And I said, well, comedy is really your lane. You need to like
yeah,
refine into your skills into comedy. I want you to do like a comedy special. I want you to like put all your eggs into that because that's where your career could really flourish. And now he's like focusing on that to like really work towards doing a comedy special and stuff like that. Because I was like, why have you not been doing this? Like, you're so naturally funny. Like, I don't
yeah.
get it.
He
But
absolutely
people,
kills it. That's his lane, man.
exactly.
He's so good at that. He
Exactly.
is.
But sometimes people have their own perception in their mind, of what it
Yeah,
is. And he was being typecasted just in those like gangster films. And it's like
yeah.
he's more of an eclectic actor, and you could gain so much more from doing comedy than anything else. So that's why I said to him that. But it's good to hear that you didn't do that because it's not always the journey for everyone. Like, I could go to film school if I wanted, but I've been umming and ahhing about it. But it's like it's also the connections you make. What can you gain from it
100%.
in that
Yeah,
aspect? I wouldn't be
yeah,
going to learn anything because there's not really much for me to learn. Like I've
yeah.
worked in advertising, I've worked in
Done.
film, TV, I've worked in nearly everything. I'm trying to get into music videos now. That's the only thing I haven't done.
Yeah,
So yeah, so it's like I've learned on set. So
yeah.
that's the
It's
major thing.
literally,
Yeah.
you're 100% right, because
Hmm.
what, like, you'll go back, you could,
Hmm.
there's no point in you going back now, because you've learned it
Mm.
hands on, you've learned doing it, you've learned on set, you've been
Exactly.
on those shows, you've
Hmm.
seen it firsthand. So
Yeah, yeah,
you kind of do. Don't get me wrong, like you said, especially with acting, you are always learning. I am always learning. The more
yeah.
experience I get, the better. I'm
Hmm.
always figuring out new stuff. I'm always thinking of new ways to do stuff. But
Yeah.
I guess in your side, you're like, man, I'm just, the way for you to learn more is just by creating more stuff, right? So you
By
just got to just
doing.
keep
Yeah.
creating.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
just by
Yeah,
doing
yeah,
it.
yeah.
And that is where I got a lot of the experience. And to be honest, I hadn't been to drama school, but then I would be in stuff with people from drama school,
Hmm.
and they hadn't had like half the actual in front of camera experience.
Mm.
That all theirs, a lot of theirs has been practical,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
and theatre and productions and stuff like
yeah.
that, which
Right.
is all
Exactly.
amazing. But then they
Hmm.
still then had to, actually get that experience of being in front of the camera and being on set and learning your marks and
Hmm.
learning all
Yeah,
that
yeah,
sort of
yeah.
stuff.
Exactly.
And I got that schooling straight away,
Yeah.
pretty much,
True.
just from being on
Exactly.
set.
Because there's like theater acting and learning how to act for stage and then on screen
Yeah,
acting, come two completely different things. And like when I talk to actors all the time, like they've had to learn that and they have to do specific courses for on-screen acting or on
Yeah,
stage acting. It's completely different. Projecting your voice, singing, you know,
100%.
knowing is so
Yeah,
much different. So it's such a thing. So, but would you do more theater? Because I know you did that one play. Would
100%.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Like I loved it, but like you
Mhm.
said, exactly. It's very yes, it's acting, but they're just very
Mhm.
different, aren't they? Like you
Yeah,
said,
exactly.
one is so big, and
Hmm.
one and then the screen is so small.
Yeah.
Like you're if you think you're not doing enough,
Hmm.
you're doing too much.
Yeah.
You just it's
Yeah.
always just because you don't do anything, and then
Mhm.
you're doing it right. It's
Yeah, yeah.
crazy, but yeah, it's
Exactly.
so different. I love the experience of
Mm.
the
Would
hundred
you ever
percent.
like write anything yourself, or have you ever thought of doing that?
So I've actually co-wrote a
Mm.
script
Okay. Hmm.
randomly. It's called No Saint,
Hmm.
and it's weird. It was from a dream I had. Like I never really come up with scripts and stuff, but
Hmm.
I literally woke up one morning and I'd had this dream, and it was so vivid. I was
Hmm.
like, this is a film.
Okay.
This whole thing is a film. So then I'm straight because you forget it, right? So I'm
Hmm.
straight onto my phone. I'm straight
Yeah.
onto like writing as many
Yeah.
points as I can.
Yeah.
It has
Yeah.
been, slightly reworked and like
Okay.
upgraded and
Hmm.
made a little bit better.
Hmm.
But I've worked with
Good.
James
Hmm.
Keaton, my friend who's a script writer. So
Hmm.
obviously he's done the actual putting it together.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
basically told him absolutely
Okay.
every scene,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
everything, but then he's
Okay.
just put it down into
Hmm.
script form. But there's another one. It's coming. I don't know what to do with it just quite yet. There's one little more amendment, and then and we're going to go from there. And it's
Good.
a bit of a
Good.
hard one just to
Hmm.
shoot because
Hmm.
it's like post-apocalyptic. It's
Oh wow.
like
So you're
it's
gonna need
crazy.
money. Money,
The,
money. Okay.
that is
Yeah.
the problem. I could try and think of a way to
Hmm.
like yeah, but other than that, so I'm kind of just it's there at the moment, and I'm gonna
Okay.
kind of start with these
Yeah.
projects and let's see what
Hmm.
happens with Enter the Furnace,
Okay.
and a few other little things going
Hmm.
on, and then but it's there, yeah. So
Good.
I've done
Good.
it. I'm not. I wouldn't say I'm a script writer, but I'm I definitely say I co-wrote it. It was my
Yeah, yeah,
dream,
yeah.
but
Still story by
James
James
Keaton, got to
Merrill.
say, got to give him the props.
Yeah, 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 but it'll
Yeah,
be
yeah,
story
it's the
by James
James.
Merrill and then written by James Keaton.
Yeah,
That's all, you know? So
exactly,
that's what it'll
exactly.
be.
So I got to give him his props, man.
Yeah, yeah,
He's
yeah.
put a lot of work into it. So yeah,
Okay,
but
nice. Is
that's
it
there
short though?
for something at some point. So
Mhm.
let's see, man.
Is it a short film
Yeah, I'd
or
love
is
to
it
get that. I'd love to get that.
was it going to be a
That's
short or
feature
feature?
again.
Oh, okay. Wow. So you need
No, that
millions.
yeah. So that's the
Okay.
problem. So maybe I need Enter the Furnace to just like
Hmm.
explode first,
Hmm.
and then so I might just keep it on the back burner until one of these things
Okay.
pops out, and then I'm
Yeah.
gonna see.
Mhm.
Then maybe revisit it. But yeah,
Well, I mean, the thing is, it's like, don't, I think a lot of the stuff I've done now, like one web series I did called Talia versus, got picked up. I did that after you guys, but
yeah,
that got picked up by Channel 4. So it's like now I'm in that space where go big or go home. Like,
yeah,
don't always feel the need. Like, I've done that now because I did that in the past because it was about lack of experience. But now I'm in a space where it's like, okay, if we have an idea, let's start finding the finances and co-productions
yeah,
and, understanding the business side of it. So go big
yeah.
or go home. Find a producer who
Hundred
can
percent.
who could make it? Listen, you're
Yeah,
in these rooms, you never know what
yeah,
one coffee could do. Do you get what I mean?
yeah,
Like you just saying, oh, let's just have a coffee and let's have a
yeah,
conversation. You don't want to pitch to them because they probably get pitched all the time. But if you
yeah.
just have that conversation, because you've got those connects,
Yeah.
you just literally never know. And then
Oh,
that's how
100%. Yeah,
so
100.
just do that honestly, because
Yeah,
anything post-apocalyptic, that could be another Dune, okay? And making billions
yeah,
at the box
yeah.
office. So
Yeah,
why not?
you just, yeah, dude, you never know, but it is there. And oh my God,
Okay.
yeah, 100%. I
Yeah.
think, yeah, just thinking I'm like lining stuff up, but yeah,
Mhm.
100%. If that,
Okay.
if the right thing comes up or I can speak to the
Mhm.
right person, yeah, it's kind of there and it's
Yeah.
pretty much ready, but
Okay.
it's pretty much
Okay.
ready to go. But yeah,
Yeah.
that would be the dream because obviously that's, it's kind of
Mhm.
like a film. I basically wrote it for myself, but it's like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. As
so
you
it's going to
should.
be
As you
yeah,
should.
yeah, yeah, 100%.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So it's gonna be like, dude, make this. But
Yeah.
by the way, I'm the lead. Let's go.
Exactly. No, that's good. That's good. That's good. So I've been asking all actors this. So
Yeah.
is there any film that you wish you could have been casted in, past or present?
Oh God. Oh, there's so many. There's so many. Oh, okay. One from the past would
Mhm.
be Gangs of New York.
Oh, that's
Just
a good
because
one. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
because of Daniel Day-Lewis. He's like,
Hmm.
that's oh my god, like I'm obsessed with that
Hmm.
sort of acting. Like I'm
Hmm.
maybe not as method as he is, but
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
that film, and not his character, because his character was great, but something like in that with them
Mm-hmm.
guys,
Okay.
and just that era of filmmaking, I think it was
Hmm.
amazing. And I'm like
Okay.
obsessed with him anyway, so just
Hmm.
I'm thinking of his films, that
Yeah.
one would be cool.
Hmm.
Yeah, or
Hmm.
like the Joker, Joaquin
Oh,
Phoenix.
okay. Yeah, yeah,
Just
yeah.
because, again, he's
Hmm.
another one that I'm like, I'm looking at and thinking, and just like
Hmm.
I love their sort of style of acting. I
Yeah,
love how
yeah,
it's again, I'm going dark and twisted, right? But like, I just think it's amazing, and just a character in it. And then it's kind of like cool because it's DC as well, and
yeah.
I
True, true, true.
kind of grew up with DC,
Hmm.
as a lot of us did, with Batman,
Hmm.
Superman,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
stuff like that.
exactly. Hmm.
But Joker is that one
Hmm.
where you got Joaquin Phoenix in it, and the performance is
Yeah,
just amazing. I
amazing.
think you could have
Yeah,
really got
yeah.
lost in that kind of performance.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay, maybe it wasn't as hard as I was thinking, but there's so
Yeah,
many. Like
yeah,
there's
yeah,
so
yeah.
many, like, and there's so many
Exactly,
actors.
exactly,
But I guess
exactly.
they're the two that spring to
Hmm.
mind that I've just
Hmm.
like, yeah, everything they do,
Okay.
I'm just like,
Yeah, yeah.
I love what
Okay.
they do. I love their style.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
hundred
lastly,
percent.
what directors would you like to work with?
Oh, oh, it's gotta
Hmm.
be Tarantino, right?
Oh, listen. Yes, me and you love him. He's my favorite. Yes,
I
yes,
just love the style. I love
yes,
it. It's just
yes,
like, you know
yes,
what I mean? I think
yes,
everything he's done,
yes.
and they're the films as again is
Hmm.
a film style, and
Yes.
like, I've been since Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction.
Hmm.
Anything he's done, I love it.
Hmm.
All the Kill Bills, I love the
Yeah,
style of it. I love the way
yeah,
he shoots.
yeah,
I love the way his characters are.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's without doubt.
Yeah,
There, that's it.
yeah, yeah. I could sit and
100%.
talk with you for hours on how much I love Tarantino. Just how animated it is, how cartoonish,
Yeah,
like excessive,
yeah.
like
Comic
honestly,
strip.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
comedic. It's listen, we could nerd out about this for an hours, but we don't have time. So yeah, but
100%.
honestly, he's
100%.
yeah, 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 amazing. So where can people find you, like your previous work, your social media, like your show reel? So any agents or directors watching, where can they find you at?
Literally, I guess the easiest one everyone's got the Instagram, isn't it? So
Hmm.
it's literally just James
Hmm.
Merrill, Merrill
Yes.
underscore, because
Uh-huh.
somebody took James Merrill,
Oh
like
God.
unbelievable. Couldn't believe it. They don't even use it. So I'm the underscore, but whatever, it's fine.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then yeah, just the
Hmm.
same name on
Hmm.
IMDb,
Yes.
on Spotlight, and it's
Hmm.
just and all details are there, and I'm very receptive if anyone messaged me there
Hmm.
wants to talk about acting or absolutely anything like that. Yeah,
Hmm.
man, I'll talk. What we're like. We'll talk about it all day long. So yeah,
Good,
just
good,
reach
good.
out, talk to me. Let's see. Let's work, man. I'm always
Nice,
ready
nice.
for new projects.
Yes, yes, yes. Well, James, it's been great catching up with you and learning your journey and seeing what you're up to now. I'm looking forward to just seeing where your career goes next. I mean, you still look young as ever. I know you're like almost 40. Like you don't even look it.
Literally.
Like it's
Yeah, but
crazy.
I'm feeling it
So,
now. It's
oh
catching up. It's catching up. So I'm just
my God.
hanging on.
Oh my
But
God.
thanks, man.
No,
Always
no,
love,
no.
bro.
No,
Seriously, man. It's been
always,
great
always.
speaking to you again.
Thank
Seriously.
you. Well, thanks guys for tuning in. You can follow me all on my usual socials. You know them. There's a bunch of them. Stay tuned for episodes coming soon.